It has been revealed that Russia was recruiting Kenyans under the false pretense of legitimate employment, only to deploy them to the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war upon their arrival. In response to these reports, Kenya's Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Minister, Mudavadi, is traveling to Moscow to demand an immediate end to these recruitment practices. This raises critical questions. How did Russia successfully recruit and transport these young Kenyans? Was the Kenyan government formally aware of these activities? Furthermore, will the minister's diplomatic mission be enough to pressure Russia into halting the operation? For the background, Russia began targeting foreign nationals globally to fight on their side in the Russia-Ukraine war as early as 2022. In September 2025, Kenyan police conducted a major raid in Nairobi, rescuing 21 young men who were just days away from being flown to Russia. A month later, reports surfaced of the first confirmed deaths and injuries on Kenyan citizens on the Russia-Ukraine war front lines. Later, the Kenyan Minister of Foreign Affairs officially raised the alarm, estimating that over 200 Kenyans were already on the ground in Russia or Ukraine. So, how were they recruited? How was it conducted? It was a trap. You see, the operation was a mix of high-tech digital rules and old-fashioned human trafficking. Recruiters used WhatsApp groups and Facebook ads to target young unemployed men. Once in a group, the recruiters, often fellow Kenyans or handlers, would share fake testimonials about great lives in Russia, speak in Swahili to build trust and make the opportunities seem legitimate, offer salaries of $1,000 to $3,000, which is roughly 130,000 to 400,000 Kenyan shillings, a fortune for many. And there was the middleman agencies. We are talking about the local recruitment firms in Nairobi, such as Global Face Human Resources, acted as the front. They advertised exciting opportunities for security guards, salespeople, or even professional basketball players. Some agencies claimed they were sending former soldiers who knew what they were signing up for, but investigation revealed that many civilians like plumbers and students were being mixed in. How about their transportation? How were they transported from Kenya to Russia? Once a recruit agreed, the agency would handle their visas and flights. Recruits often had to pay recruitment fee of hundreds of dollars, putting them in immediate debt. They were flown to Russia often through Qatar or other hubs and taken directly from the airport to military facilities in cities like Yaroslavl or near St. Petersburg. There was the scandalous part in all this. You see, the most scandalous part of the conduct happened once they landed in Russia. Recruits were handed contracts written entirely in Russian. They were told these were employment papers for their security or sales jobs. When some refused to sign, they were told if you don't sign, you are dead, or were threatened with being stranded in a foreign country with no money and no passport, as their passports were often confiscated upon arrival. Most were given only 5 to 14 days of basic training before being sent to the front lines in Donbas region of Ukraine. Bringing us to what happened today. So, what happened today? Today, the Kenyan Foreign Minister Mudavadi is heading to Moscow to address reports of Kenyan citizens being lured into Russia under false job pretense, only to be sent to the front lines in Ukraine as cannon fodder. The term cannon fodder is being used because these men were sent to the most dangerous front lines in Ukraine with almost no training. Some had only 5 days. They were essentially used as disposable soldiers to protect more experienced Russian troops. Many have been killed, some are missing, and others currently in Ukrainian hospitals or prisons as prisoners of war. So, what has been the response of citizens of Kenya after this revelation? The Kenyan public is furious. They are asking why the government didn't protect these citizens sooner. While Foreign Minister Musalia Mudavadi is heading to Moscow to demand an end to this recruitment, Kenya has already shut down over 600 recruitment agencies suspected of being part of this human trafficking ring. And around 30 Kenyans have been rescued so far, but it is estimated that nearly 300 Kenyans may still be trapped in the conflict. Will the minister's diplomatic mission be enough to pressure Russia to end the operation? Or maybe the trip will be made in vain? Africa is watching. The world is watching on how this will unfold. Subscribe to Afri Daily News for updates of what is happening in Africa and around the world. Until the next one, see you then.